It's Wolf. Good afternoon. um, Let me make sure stuff is working. I woke up from a nap not that long ago, and I have no idea where I am. um, okay, yes, everything is working. Um, Hello, welcome to another pretty late stream. I meant to do this stream earlier today, and I feel like I say that a lot, but today I actually genuinely meant to do this earlier in the day, and then I think took a little like another kind of like exhaustion nap. If you guys remember last week, I said that I was really tired out. Well, I have been even more tired out. I have a lot of real life stories for you guys. I know I talk a lot about like real life stories on stream. These past 2 weeks have been absurd in so many ways. Anyway, I'm back with some Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Um, I know this game got negative reviews, but I really have been enjoying it a lot. And it was already in my PlayStation, so this is what we're streaming. This is what popped up on the screen when I opened it. McLaren 570S anniversary. We're celebrating the 10th birthday of the McLaren 570S with its 570 horsepower, from which it gets its name. It surpasses all other cars in its class, race against other cars in this category, and show them the power of the McLaren 570S. Um, it's kind of interesting, 570 horsepower. I feel like horsepower is such a kind of strange measurement for cars when you really think about it, because like some cars have so much horsepower, and then like I don't know, because 570 horsepower is obviously like a lot of horsepower. But then I think about it, I own a Dodge Challenger. I only own a V6 Challenger, but like the Hellcat and the Scatback and stuff, those have like 700 horsepower, which apparently is more than a McLaren. But I know like aerodynamics and stuff, and like just like the shape of a vehicle plays a lot into the speed of a vehicle as well. Speaking of my car, well, so dude, oh my god, dude, like I, oh man, these 2 past weeks have been absolutely insane. The last time I streamed, I think was about a week ago, and I had mentioned that at my job it was kind of busy because like, or well, yeah, I think, oh god, my whole weeks are getting screwed up here. So like at my job we had changed a bunch of stuff around, and so like we were all working different shifts and stuff and doing some different stuff for like, for me it was only for a week, for some people it was longer, for some people it was shorter. And my different schedule for that week was like, at first it was really good because I actually didn't have to be at work as much, but then like I didn't really realize until later in the week. I was like, oh crap, like the end of this week is gonna suck because I had like a lot to do. So I was super tired out from that. And then since I streamed last, so my work schedule went back to normal and everything. But then we had some insane weather where I live. And I actually wanted to show you guys. I wanted to play audio for you guys. So we had about a week of intense storms, where every single night it was like the news was like freaking out. The local news was like tornado warning, severe storm warning, hail warning, flood warning. Like it was probably some of the worst weather that I've like seen since like this one time when I was a kid, in like a tornado like almost hit our house or something. I have this one memory of like something with a tornado when I was a little kid. And so I actually got it set up to play you guys audio from a video. I'm not going to show you guys the actual video I took because it's like a real life video, but I'm going to try to play you guys the audio from it. Because it's like you can hear the storm and you can hear like tornado sirens going off. Like literal tornado sirens went off when I was at home and when I was at work. So let me see if I can get this loaded up properly. I tested it out before I started streaming, and I think it'll work well. So I'm going to mute my microphone because the video is kind of quiet, but let me see if this will work. So yeah, that's Let me mute that and take that off there. So yeah, that's audio from a video that I took. I took it to send it to my girlfriend, my lovely, wonderful girlfriend, because it was so, like, the weather was so crazy. And that was not the only time the sirens went off. And there were tornadoes and stuff. Luckily, the weather that we got was not as bad as it was some places, but it was crazy. The one day I was actually most of the week when I went to work, I took my truck instead of my car, because like I kind of split it up anyway, like which vehicle I take, so that way I'm not like putting all the miles on one or the other. But I almost exclusively took my truck to work because there were flood warnings like all over the place, and so I was like worried about like puddles and stuff, and flooding, and luckily it wasn't too crazy like in my area or like the area my job is in and stuff. But I do remember there was one spot that I went through that there was this street that was kind of like low lying compared to the road that I was on, and there was like two houses that I think were pretty much flooded. There were like some cars that were like underwater, and then probably the worst flooding I saw was I drove by this one park, or it might have been like a school or something. It was some sort of like public or like semi-public area. It had a gazebo, and it was off in the distance, and I could see this gazebo, and it was almost completely underwater. Like all I could see was the top of the gazebo. So that weather was crazy. And then personally, I ended up like my Challenger actually got some hail damage a while ago. There was this, it kind of hit out of nowhere. There was a storm that kind of rolled through and brought some hail with it the one time, and my Challenger ended up getting a couple of like pretty small dents. And my Challenger was the only car in the household that got damaged, which is kind of annoying. So I actually went and it was kind of last minute, but I read online that like moving blankets can be good for protecting vehicles from hail. So I actually went out and got like a bunch of moving blankets and put them on all the cars in the driveway, mine and like my family's and stuff. And I had to get like hooks to like bungee cord hooks to strap them down with, and that was a whole pain and had me all tired, and like I think I pulled something in my arm doing that. Luckily there wasn't that much damage, although the Challenger ended up taking the brunt of it again. I don't really know why the Challenger seems more prone to hail damage than any of my other vehicles. Or well, I only have one other vehicle, but there's other vehicles in my household. But yeah, it has probably about 10 hail dents now, and most of them are really small. There's only one kind of significant one on the hood. But yeah, so that's kind of annoying. So at first I was kind of like not really that concerned about it when it only had like the two small dents, but now that it's got more, when I googled like what you do in that that type of situation, it said you gotta call, like you should call your insurance. So I might actually have to like file a claim with my insurance that like there's damage to my car, which kind of will suck because that could make like my deductible or whatever go up. But yeah, that sucked. And then also separately, I was driving today and there was a truck in front of me that kicked up a rock, and the rock ended up going at just the right angle to scratch the roof of my Challenger. So now the roof of the Challenger also has a small scratch on it. It sucks because it's like I've tried very hard to take care of this car. This is like, it's like my first, like, it's pretty much my first car, and it's like a car that I wanted for a long time, and yet it feels like every time I turn around it's getting some sort of damage. Luckily it's nothing crazy, and like one of the nice things about Challengers is like a lot of Dodge dealerships offer like lifetime warranties on like the powertrain. So even though it's not the body of the car, like that's like the engine and transmission and stuff. I have my granddad actually also owns a Chrysler product, and he has the same warranty on it, and they've had it's a Chrysler 300, and they've had it forever. He said before that powertrain warranty has been exceptionally helpful, because he said before that there's been some like major stuff that he's gotten done to that car since it's like pretty old, and it hasn't even been that expensive. So yeah, the thing is, it's like it sucks that my Challenger keeps getting like kicked, but at the same point, I guess, like, you know, the warranty and stuff for the actual engine and everything makes it a little better. I do have pretty good insurance on it, I think. So hopefully that won't be too bad. But yeah, that sucked. Because I actually, I looked at the Challenger after all those storms went through, and I was like, oh, cool, like, it doesn't look like there's any damage, and, like, none of the other cars had any damage. I saw, like, one small dent on my truck, but my truck is kind of a beater car, so I don't really care that much. And then I actually went to wash my Challenger, and that was when I noticed, I was like, oh, dent. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah. In some other good news, though, another cool thing I've done recently is I finally went to a round one. I'd been mentioning that a little bit on stream before. I've been going to, like, arcades and stuff lately, and I wanted to go to a round one, and I just hadn't gotten to go to a round one before because, like, there's not, like, the closest ones are still, like, pretty far away from where I live, so it was one of those things where it wasn't really like a long trip, but it took like a while to get there and a while to get back. But I had a fun time going around one. And I wanted to tell you guys about that a little bit too. So yeah, it was a pretty long drive to get there. My mom went with me and she offered to drive, but we were taking my Challenger, so I was like, no. But no, my mom's driven my car before and she's a good driver. But so we went and we drove all the way there, and trying to think of the best way to start the story. Well, I suppose like the thing to start with is like I actually got kind of annoyed when I first got to the round one because I think it was just kind of this location probably, but like the staff was some of the staff seemed just kind of disinterested, which isn't great. And I mean not working, but like going to an arcade, I guess it doesn't really matter that much how the staff is acting because like an arcade is kind of a mostly self-directed activity. But so one of the reasons I want to go to round one is because like they have a lot of imported Japanese games, and a lot of like Japanese games you can get cards to save your progress with and stuff. And in particular, like when I was younger, there was an arcade that I went to that had Initial D, and like I got like an Initial D card to save my progress. And Wangan Midnight has a similar system. A bunch of like the Japanese rhythm games have similar systems. So anyway, we get to round one and we go in, and I wanted to get a Banner Pass. I wanted to get pretty much all of like the progress saving cards that I could. But particularly a Banner Pass for Wangan Midnight because I really wanted to play Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune. But I also want to try to get like an E-Amusement Pass and a Nessica Pass and an AIM Pass if they had one of those. It's kind of weird because like some of them are cross-compatible, but some of them aren't. So anyway, we go up to the counter to get the actual like round one card, which is for use at like round one. And before we even get up to the counter, like as I'm standing in line, the dude that's running the card counter is kind of giving me this like glare, and I don't really know what his issue was. I wasn't wearing anything like offensive or anything like that, but yeah, he's just kind of like staring me down. And then we finally got up to the counter, and he like didn't even say hello or anything like that. And you know, I get that customer service jobs kind of can suck sometimes. Like I've worked some before. But even if you're having a bad day, or even if like a customer looks like somebody you don't necessarily want to interact with, like, you know, you should at least like acknowledge them when they come up to you. But he like didn't say anything. And so then I was like, you know, we want to get cards to play the games, and he just kind of kept staring at us. And so then I finally told him like which cards we wanted to buy, like what amount of money we wanted to have on them. And he still kind of didn't really say anything. And then so finally he ends up getting the cards for us set up, like the actual round one cards to play the games. And since we're there, I asked, hey, so, you know, I called and looked online, and you guys have like Banner Passes and E-Amusement Passes and stuff like that. I'd like to buy them. And he's just kind of like, no. Like, he literally just said, like, no to me, pretty much. He was like, no, we don't have those. And I was like, that's, like, I'm not going to argue with an employee over it, but I was pretty much like, okay. Because that's literally not true. Round one does stock those, and they do run out sometimes from what I understand, but, like, I've not, like, anything that I've seen online about round 1 locations running out of Bana passes and other various like game passes, a lot of those posts are like old Reddit posts from like 2 or 3 years ago. So I also, and plus alongside that, I literally had called the day before to ask about them, and the person on the phone specifically told me that he knew they at least had e-amusement passes. And so anyway, I pretty much was just like, okay, whatever, like I'm not gonna deal with this guy because he's being exceptionally rude. And so then, and the other thing too, like there was like a promotion going on where you got like cups or whatever if you got a new round 1 pass. But I think like you could get like special round 1 passes, and like he didn't even offer those either. So anyway, we got the cups though. It was Ultraman cups, kind of cool. But anyway, so I did end up still getting a Bana pass and an e-amusement pass, but it led to this kind of awkward moment where they had another counter. So they had like one counter that was set up for like getting cards and stuff, and they had another counter that was set up for making reservations. They had multiple counters. They had another one that was set up for making reservations for like doing karaoke or whatever, and then they had like another one for like Spocha, because this was one of the round 1 locations that had Spocha. And so I tried to like wait a little bit, because like my mom and I went and got lunch, and then came back, but like we stopped at we got to the city this round 1 was in, and then we went into round 1, got like the game cards and stuff, and I wanted to get the Bana pass and stuff then too, because I didn't want to like do too late in the day in case I ran out. And then we went and got lunch and came back, and I was kind of hoping the rude guy would be like away from the card counter by the time we got back, but he was like still there. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna ask him again. So I ended up going up to a different counter. I went up to the one for like reservations, and because the dude, it wasn't like busy, there was nobody else in line, and the dude at like the reservations counter seemed a lot like more happy and helpful with customers. So I went up to him and I asked him about the cards, and that guy was like, oh yeah, we have those. He was like, I don't know what we have in stock, but like we seem to have all of it in stock. He was like, but you get those at the other counter. And I had to be like, well, not to be rude to your coworkers, but I asked at the other counters and they pretty much refused to help me with it. So is there any way you could help me with it? And he was kind of like, you know, because it's awkward, like if you're at like a customer service job and somebody asks you to like do something away from your station. I know, but there wasn't anybody behind me in line. And funny enough, I think as I was saying that, a manager came over and like scolded the guy who was working the card counter and another employee too for like being mean to customers. So the dude from like the reservation counter ran over there real quick and helped me buy the Bana pass and the e-amusement pass. They didn't have any Nessica cards or any of the other ones, but the Bana pass was the main one that I had wanted, and the e-amusement pass, the Konami e-amusement pass, is compatible. There's a bunch of cross-compatible things, but for Wangan Midnight in particular, you need a Bana pass. So anyway, I finally got my cards, and I was like pumped. And yeah, I had a ton of fun at round 1 after that whole conundrum was taken care of. And I'm very appreciative of the employee who actually helped me with that, because, I mean, I drove for a pretty long time to get there, and it's also been like over 10 years since I've played Initial D or Wangan Midnight, and those are the games that I mainly wanted to play. Weirdly enough, though, I couldn't find Initial D anywhere at this round 1, which was strange because I read multiple things online that said that this location had one, but the spot that people had said online that they had Initial D, they seemed to actually have Mario Kart. So I think that their Initial D cabinet maybe broke or something like that, and they replaced it with Mario Kart instead. Which I think kind of makes sense. I can imagine that in the US, a Mario Kart arcade machine is probably going to do better than an Initial D arcade machine, because most people, more people probably know what Mario Kart is and how to play it. It could have possibly been in the Spocha area, because I know that the Spocha area has some games too, but it's also like a separate fee to go into the Spocha area. And there's also like a ton of kids running around in there, because like there's a bunch of activities for little kids, so I didn't really feel like messing with it. But I looked into it. You can kind of see the Spocha area from the rest of the arcade, and I didn't see Initial D in there, so I think they just don't have it at that location. But they did have Wangan Midnight Maximum Tune. I think it was 5DX. So I was pumped about that, because even though Initial D is the one that I played a bunch as a kid, I actually was kind of more so wanting to play Wangan Midnight, because I think I'm better at Wangan Midnight. Initial D, I remember when I was younger, I kind of sucked at, but when I and I don't remember where it was, but when I played Wangan Midnight one time when I was younger, also I was way better at it. So yeah, I played that a handful of times. I actually played it quite a few times, but it was also kind of a pretty popular game. There was a lot of people that were playing it, so I didn't get to play it a ton, but I played it enough to be happy. Oh, thank you for whoever liked the stream. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, so I've got my Bandai Namco pass now. I actually need to register it. I really want to make sure to register it so I don't lose my progress, because it's taking me a long time as it is to finally get the Bandai pass. I got myself a Dodge Viper in Wangan Midnight, because they only have Dodge Charger and Dodge Viper. They don't have Challenger, so I couldn't do, like, you know, my real life car, but I did the Viper, so that was cool. What other races are there? Let's do this one. So yeah, that was fun. And I had a lot of fun playing Wangan Midnight. My mom and I raced against each other the one time. That was really funny, because she doesn't really play that many video games, so she was like bouncing off the walls and stuff, because Wangan Midnight has really goofy physics. I mostly played against like ghost cars, and I played a little bit of the story mode. You know, I remember I saw YouTube videos like a long time ago for Wangan Midnight stuff, and I never really understood how the story of that game worked. But now that I've played it in person, I actually kind of understand how the story functions. Yeah, if you watch YouTube videos of it, it can be kind of hard to follow, but if you play it in person, it makes more sense. Because there's like characters that are talking like via text, and I wasn't really sure if you were supposed to be like playing as them or racing against them, but now I get that it's supposed to be that you're like racing against them, and it's like, yeah, something like that. It's really hard to describe. But that was cool, so I played that a handful of times. I got to use like the Wangan terminal and stuff. Got some dress up parts for my car. That was really fun. I really don't understand though why they don't just stock the machines themselves with the Bandai passports. Yeah, I don't really get why they sell those at the counter, because they like the machines all seem to have the functionality, and the terminal all seem to have the functionality to spit the cards out. So I don't really understand. I guess maybe because like if you did it that way, you'd have to pay for it with credits rather than your actual card or like cash, and maybe they want to sell them for actual like money. But either way, I managed to get one. But yeah, that would prevent people from having to deal with any possible rude workers when you're asking about them. So I played that. That was kind of the main goal. But I played like a ton of other games too. Initially, like Initial D. Initially, my goal was really just to play Wangan Midnight. But there was a lot of other really cool games at this arcade. Trying to think, because they had like a handful of different varieties of games. I didn't really play that many ticket games, but I played a few, and I actually had pretty good luck on them. It felt almost like Round 1 has like the settings on their machine to be like chiller than other arcades where you have to dump a bunch of money into stuff. But I played, there was this one game that was kind of like a coin pusher, but it had like almost like pachinko balls, if I remember right, and it was like WWE themed, and you could win like cards with the characters, and that you could redeem them for tickets. And I played that, and I didn't really know how to play, so I just pressed the button and sent one of the like pachinko looking ball things down. In first try, I like got it through like the belt thing that you were aiming for, and I won one of the cards. And then there was like a toilet bowl game that you had to like toss these balls into like a toilet bowl, and like as you played, it got more challenging because like the toilet bowl would like close. So like it started off as like an open toilet, and then like it would close like the lid, and then like or it would close like the seat, and like the lid would close, and there was like a hole in the lid. And so that one was kind of weird, but it was kind of interesting. And then I think the ticket game that I had the most luck with, they actually had a pachinko, or not pachinko, a plinko game. And so you drop the chip down the plinko board, Well, that was another one. I'm playing it, and I just kind of hit the button, and the Plinko chip goes down, and like bounces off 3 pegs and lands right in the maximum bonus slot, and I won 1,000 tickets, which was crazy. Because in terms of round 1 tickets and like what you can get for those, that's actually a pretty like good amount of tickets. Like I could have gotten like a mug for that price, and I like wasn't that far off from like being able to get like a clothing item. So for an arcade, those are some pretty expensive prizes. So that was really cool, but that was surprising. It was hilarious though. I just like press the button, and then next thing I know, 1,000 tickets. It took forever too for it to count down. It was really funny because it was like counting down and adding the tickets to my card, and it just kept going and going and going and going. I played. They also had the Injustice arcade game there, but I wasn't too keen on playing that honestly because I've played it a lot already. But I did play one match against my mom on that, and last time I streamed, I was complaining about how I had played the Injustice arcade game and like gotten like 4 or 5 Green Lantern cards. Well, I'm not joking. My mom and I both got Green Lantern cards that printed out from the Injustice arcade game. I don't know why these things have so many Green Lantern cards. One of them is one that I already had. It's a Regime Green Lantern card. The other Green Lantern one is one that I didn't have before. It's the Red Sun Green Lantern. So that's like kind of cool, I guess, that I got a Green Lantern card that I didn't already have. But like I don't need any more Green Lanterns, dude. I have enough Green Lanterns. What else did they have? Well, speaking of games that give you things, there's hang on, can you guys hear this? That is 2 emblems from the Naruto Emblem Battle game. That game is really cool. It's kind of like one of those like printable card games, but on steroids. So that one I had a lot of fun with, but I'll talk about that one in a little bit because I also wanted to mention some of the other stuff that they had. Have I done like all of the races that are available currently? No, here's one. What else was there? Crane machines. Like speaking of the Naruto game. So the Naruto game I actually played once when we first got there. And my mom, like I said, she doesn't really play that many video games, but we got there and so I started playing this Naruto game, and she was like, I'm gonna go play some of the crane machines, and I was like, okay, have fun. And I kid you not, I'm playing Naruto. She walks away for about 2 minutes and comes back with this giant penguin plush. With this huge penguin plushie. She's like, I won this for you. I was like, what? Yeah, so apparently first try, my mom went over to one of the crane machines and won this huge penguin plushie. It's a penguin that is like dressed like a bear, I think, if I remember right. It's sitting over in a corner. And dude, I don't know if we were just like having good luck at the round 1 games, or if round 1's claw machines are like easier than other places. But my mom and I won so many plushies while we were there. Mostly my mom won them, but we both won like quite a few. We got that one. My mom also won. She got a chicken from one. She got Kuromi from, I think Kuromi is like a character that's related to Hello Kitty. I think like the same company or something. I don't entirely know, but I've heard there's that YouTuber Sylvie the Queen. I don't know if you guys have heard of her. I know I'm not really her like intended audience, but she does like she's American and she's living in Japan. She has some really interesting videos about just like her life. And she's talked about Kuromi before, and so I think it's like a character from, yeah, something to do with Hello Kitty. I don't think it's the same series, but I think it's like the same like brand or something like that. So my mom won a Kuromi character. Chicken. She got a little dolphin keychain plushie for my grandma. So I think she won other stuff too. She got me that penguin. And then I remember I got, hang on, I want to restart this race. This is not going my way. I won. I think it was me who won. I got like a whale plushie keychain. I won a smaller version of the penguin. I won this like little bear character. I got this like Mickey Mouse plushie thing. I think there's still like one or two that I'm forgetting too. My mom won from not from a crane machine, but from a different game. She got like a little like mystery plushie that's in the box, but she hasn't actually opened it. Yeah, we won a lot of stuff out of the crane machines that day though. And then, well, so that Naruto Battle Emblem game that I was talking about too. So that one's kind of like, it's really cool, but it's kind of expensive. I think they're like testing it or something. I don't think it's actually like officially released yet. I'm not totally sure though, but it seems like it might be like a test location thing, because it was like 18 credits to play it or whatever, which is like a lot compared to the other games. But it's really cool because so it's like the Injustice game or like the Minecraft game or whatever, where you get like a thing that you can use to replay it and you can kind of build a deck. But it's like these little plastic like tablets. And so you get those and they have like a Naruto character and like stats and stuff. And it's cool the way it works. So like you start the game up and you have to get a tablet first, because you need one to play. You need at least one to play. And so the game starts off by like you have to win one. And so you get this mini game where you kind of like you throw a it's not a shuriken, but it's that other type of knife that they use in Naruto, the one that's got like three sides, kind of triangular. I can't think of the name of it. I haven't watched Naruto in a long time, but I know like the basics of Naruto because I watched it some when I was younger. And honestly, playing this game kind of makes me want to watch it more. So you start the game off by like you go up. It shows like you go up this waterfall and there's like these numbers. And then you press the button to throw the knife, and you got to try to get one of the better numbers. So it ranges between like 3 and 1, and of course like the ones are like better. And like even if you don't hit one, I think it just gives you a random one. So like that's kind of a cool way to start, because then you get your emblem, and then you pick up to 4 characters, and you put them on. There's this like panel that you put them on. And I don't know how exactly they work. They must have some sort of like NFC chip or something in them, which would explain why they're not cards, why they're actual like little plastic pieces. So you put them on like your play field, and then they actually show up on the screen. And like as you move them around on the play field, they move around on the screen, which is cool. And so like depending on which emblems you put, you have like different abilities and like different amount of health. So like some of the characters, like some of the emblems can combine together and stuff for like special abilities to like increase attack power and things like that. And some of them like have effects against your enemy team and stuff like that. And then when you actually go to play, you pick one of your 4 emblems to move to the center to battle the computer play. I don't know if you can play against other players yet. I think it was just computers, like against the computer when I was playing it. But you move one of your tablets to like the center of the screen, or to the center of the playfield, and then it like shows you like you play like mini games, and there's only like 2 buttons on this arcade machine. And so I think like the more rounds you go, the more different games you play, but a lot of times it was like a timing game, so it was almost like in golf, like when golf games have a power meter, you had to stop the thing with like a higher power than the enemy player. So I was doing pretty well at that one. And then sometimes you get another one where it's like a button smashing thing. You have to hit the buttons faster than the other character to like push them off the screen. That one I thought was easier than the timing one. So I was pretty good at it. What else? I think that was the only 2 mini games I played. And then like as the rounds go on, like some of the different emblems like get different abilities. So like I have one of which character? Hang on, let me look here. I got one of, where is he? Kakashi. And so like the Kakashi emblem, it says what it is on the back here. So like in the third round, yeah, at the start of round 3 summons Pakun. So like when the third round starts, if you have your Kakashi emblem, then he'll summon like an extra like ally character that he'll like fight with. So there's actually like a lot of strategy to it, and it's really cool. And I spent like I only played it like once when we first got there, and then as we were about to leave, I still had like a lot of coins, quote unquote, on my card to use. And so I played that a handful more times, and I ended up, I think I played it probably about 7 times in total, because I have like 7 emblems. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And the other cool thing with it too was that, are there any other interesting deliveries? No, I feel like I might have done this one before. But the other cool thing about it too is like, you know, with like the Injustice game or clan rep, with the Injustice game or like Marvel Contest of Champions or like the Minecraft game and stuff, you can't really influence like what level of emblem you get. But with that Naruto game, or not emblem, but cards you get from those games, it's pretty much random all the time. The Injustice game, I think if you do the thing where you fully level up, like where you fully power up your character when you start the game, I think that maybe gives you like a guaranteed like rare or whatever, but I'm not totally sure, because that's how I read it, but I might be wrong about that. That might just be that you're paying extra to start out with like a max energy bar or whatever. But the thing with the Naruto game is like, since you actually are like hitting the button to land on a certain level of like character emblem, you actually have some control over which emblem you get, and it actually shows you on the screen which emblem you get. So I don't know how they have it set up. It must be kind of complicated the way that game releases the emblems. But yeah, you get like, because I remember like it would show up on the screen which character I had won, and then I would, you know, put my hand in the little door at the bottom, and that was the emblem I had actually gotten. So that was really cool. And sometimes too, the mini game for getting an emblem, because it's one of those games where you can play like multiple rounds. So after you play a few rounds, sometimes you can get one of the emblem mini game where it'll be like, instead of a waterfall, it'll be like a lava fall, and it'll only be either a 3 or a 1 emblem. And you can actually like re-swipe to play that game more than once too before you actually like get into the battle. So I only did that one time though, because it was so expensive. But I actually got a like one of the ultra rare emblems or whatever. I got like one of the level 1 emblems when I did that. So that was cool. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed that, and I hope that more arcades get that game, but I think it might be exclusive to round 1 right now. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then the only other type of game that I remember that we played was there was a bunch of rhythm games from Japan. So like my mom and I both played some of those. There's that one where there's like a big drum, and you've got to like hit the drum beats at the right time. That was kind of cool. There's that one where you like dance with an anime girl, and you got to like touch the screen in the right spots. That one was really fun. Got to pick the anime girl that looks like my girlfriend. And then what other ones were there? Sound Voltex. I hadn't played that before. That was pretty cool, but I was not very good at it. That one was one though that I was able to use my my e-amusement pass with, so that was kind of cool. Which I got to register that too alongside my Bana pass. Uh-oh. Gave it a little scrape. And oh, I was surprised Sound Voltex has Undertale music. As I was scrolling through like the music list, I saw Megalovania, and I was like, what? So I played that. It was like a remix of it, but it was kind of funny to see that there. And then there was also another game. It's called like I think it was Chew Rhythm. I think that's the name of it, and it's like it looks kind of like a piano, but it's like a touchpad. And you gotta touch the things in the right spots, and like there's also sensors like above the piano controller thing, and you lift your hands up. And I actually wasn't sure if I was gonna enjoy that one or not, but I had a ton of fun with that one. I was actually pretty good at it. It was like almost exclusively in Japanese though, so I couldn't really understand what was going on with. Like I couldn't really understand the instructions at first. But I accidentally like set it to a harder difficulty, and I actually still did pretty well. And the music on it was pretty good. And I think that's another one too that would have worked with my e-amusement pass, but I didn't know what the menus were saying because they were in Japanese. So I think I accidentally clicked no, that I didn't want to use my e-amusement pass when I played it. Oh my god, I'm running out of breath. But I had a lot of fun with that one too. What other races are there? I don't really like doing the navigation races. I think they're kind of boring. Can I do any like event ones, or is it all McLaren 570? No, here's another delivery. I don't know if I've done this delivery before. Probably not, because I don't think I've been down this far. They also had like 4 Dance Dance Revolutions. They had another one too that was like Dance Dance Revolution, but it was like some sort of sensor thing, so there's like a big screen. It almost looked like Just Dance, but like fancy. Yeah, I can't think of really all that much else. I played Street Fighter, and that was one I also could use my e-amusement pass with, but that one was also completely in Japanese, so I like couldn't figure out like how to name my account on there. And I'm not sure if like I'm guessing that your account is different between some of the games, because I played that first and then I played Sound Voltex. In Sound Voltex, you can actually set to English. And so I played that. When I played that, I was able to set up an account and stuff. And it didn't have the same info as from when I played Street Fighter, so I'm guessing that it like has different like sub accounts or whatever on there. Yeah. The only thing with some of the Japanese games though is like, man, they last a long time. You can end up playing those for like 15 minutes or whatever. When I was playing that one game with the one that's like the big touch screen with the anime girls you gotta dance with, that one, I swear to God I was playing that for like 15 minutes, because like you can play the tutorial. So I played the tutorial, which takes a while, and then you get like 3 songs, and those took a while. And then when I played Street Fighter, it was like the same thing. I think it was because I had an e-amusement pass. I could play like up to 10 games or whatever, so long as I didn't lose. And I had it on the easiest difficulty, so I was playing that. And I should probably turn my radio off. Just realized the radio's been playing the whole time. I hope I don't get copyrighted. I don't know if the music in this game even is copyright strike applicable though, because it's all like smaller artists. But oh, hang on, hit a bush. Let me restart here. Going for that 100. Yeah, some of those games just lasted a really long time though. Like Street Fighter took me forever to actually stop playing. And I felt kind of bad sometimes because like, you know, I'm with my mom, so my mom's just kind of having to watch me play the games. But yeah, overall though, that whole trip to round 1 was generally a lot of fun, despite the one rude employee that I had to deal with. The only thing is that round 1 is quite far though from where I live, so like it's not really a place that I can go to very often. And to be honest, the city that it's located in, like the area that round 1 is in, I believe, is a pretty safe like area, like one of the safer parts of that city, but that's one of those cities that is kind of a little bit notorious. So I mean, I didn't really feel uncomfortable, but there was a couple times while we were there that there were kind of some shady looking people. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun experience, but I don't really just the distance and the fact that like it takes so long to get there, and the fact that it's a little bit scary. Yeah, I don't really know how eager I am to go speeding back out there again. But it would be really cool if my area would get round one. I know that like they're opening like a ton of round ones around. And I'm kind of surprised that where I live doesn't have one. But I think that's partially because like I think round ones usually attach themselves to malls, and I believe that most of the malls in my area already have either a Dave & Buster's or some other arcade. So I don't really know how realistic it is for us to be getting one of those, but it would be cool because like they have a lot of really cool games. I still have like 40 or something credits on like my round one card. So yeah, and 1,000 tickets. So the other cool thing too with the round one card, it's got a QR code you can scan, and it actually, I'm doing it right now. It has a QR code that you can scan, and hang on, making sure something's right with the stream. Okay. Has a QR code you can scan, as I've said for like the third time, and it'll open up a web page that tells you the stats of this card. So yeah, right now I have 42 credits and 1,133 points, which are like tickets. So that's cool. Some of these other ones have QR codes also. I think the Band Pass has one, and the E-Amusement Pass. Yeah, I really got to register these soon though, because I don't want to lose my progress. I don't know how easy it actually is to register these though, because I believe that some of the stuff is in Japanese, which can be, yeah, oh my god. I just scanned the E-Amusement QR code, and the website's entirely in Japanese. What about the Bana Pass? I know you guys can't see this, but hopefully the audio of it is interesting. Yeah, the Bana Pass site is also totally in Japanese, so I'll probably have to do those on my computer where I can do like the auto translate thing. I actually do plan on, I know a while ago I said that I wanted to do a video where I would show like all the various like cards I won from, I wanted to do one originally where I was going to show the cards that I had won from like the Injustice arcade game, but now I also have cards from like Minecraft Dungeons, the arcade version, Marvel Contest of Champions. I've got those little tablets from, the Naruto game. I've got my Bana Pass, I've got my other thing, so I might do, I still want to do that video, but it might be kind of expanded now. I was actually going to try to work on that today, but I was so exhausted from the insane 2 weeks that I've had, that I didn't quite get to it, but, yeah. Yeah, the weather has finally calmed down and everything, though, and, I don't have anything, like, too crazy going on with, like, work or, like, real life, I don't think. So I am looking forward to some calm time, hopefully, because yeah, I have been tired out, man, let me tell you. But yeah, I also got a really good sandwich near that round one. You guys know I love my kebabs and my like chicken shawarma wraps and stuff, the type of things that I got a lot when I was in the UK. And it's been hard to find that kind of stuff here, but the place, there was a place near that round one, very good sandwich I got from there. Man, oh god, that nap probably has screwed up my sleep schedule. It's almost 1 a.m. and I don't even feel tired.
We're all part of the same family. We help
oh, okay, thanks.
break the rules together.
The DJ
It doesn't
guy.
matter where you're from, you always make an impact.
I want to get to level 10 in the Solar Pass, because I think you unlock a DeLorean at level 10. Yeah, okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I am really thirsty from talking nonstop, so I am going to go grab some water, and I will be right back. All right, I am right back. Let me take that off the screen. Check back into here. And yes. Another cool thing that has happened recently that is worth mentioning on stream. I finally have obtained another game that I've been looking for a really long time. I. Oh, here's some more races. I haven't done anything here. Oh, bulletin.
The Solar Crown listens to its drivers. We know you like to make your cars unique. So, the workshops now have better quality parts in stock. And to show off their potential, where better than the roads of Repulse Bay to make their engines roar? It's one of the most upmarket neighborhoods on the island. I also have a nice surprise for our most talented drivers. They have been upgraded to the Junior Suite at the Solar Hotel.
I've marked the new races on your map. The area is stunning. You'll see.
Well, I guess that explains why those new races popped up on the map. I kind of wondered. I was like, well, how'd you get water? Did like one of the bulletins play and I didn't realize it? No, it played after I got into the menu.
Take
Cool.
the chance to upgrade your car at the workshop. You'll be unstoppable.
Hang on. Give me 1 second. Something is kind of weird with the stream. I want to make sure it's working. Okay. I wasn't sure. I was checking to see if my audio actually cut out because I thought I muted my mic during the bulletin there, but I don't know if it actually did. So I want to make sure that you guys didn't hear me like breathing too loud. Okay. Oh, wait, and now I'm on the wrong screen, and there we go. Okay. I gotta upgrade my cars now, actually. And yeah, I guess I gotta do the get the Junior Suite. I think once I hit level 30, I can get a Hellcat, which is cool because like I don't own one of those in real life, but I want Challenger in real life. Upgrade my Bentley because I have a feeling that's gonna be the car I'm gonna be using quite a bit. Yeah, so I was saying though before the bulletin popped up. So I finally have gotten a game that I've been looking for a really long time. Siren Blood Curse. And this has actually been quite a while in the making. So, wait, did I not have this car upgraded at all before? Huh. Could have sworn that I did. Anyway. Or maybe I downgraded it for some of the races. Anyway. So, Siren Blood Curse, the whole memory of this in my mind starts like a while ago. When I was younger, I played a lot of PlayStation Home, and for some weird reason, Siren Blood Curse got a PlayStation Home room. And looking back on it, I don't really understand why it had one. At least not in the North American servers of PlayStation Home, because it didn't really like it. I don't think it even came out in like it came out in the U.S. It came out in the US, but it was only like PlayStation Store, so it didn't actually come out on a disc or anything. But I remember the room for it was pretty like interesting because it was kind of the only like PlayStation Home like horror room at the time. Like it was actually really scary, at least When I was a kid, I thought it was really scary. So I remember I played that, and like I think I saw like the trailer for the game itself somewhere one time, and it almost the trailer and stuff that I've seen of it, I could be totally wrong, but I remember like thinking that it looked almost like if you took PlayStation Home and made a horror game out of it. From what I understand, it's actually like a pretty dang scary game, which we'll see how that goes, because I'm not like the most bestest with scary games. Um, but actually, let me upgrade the other cars while I'm at it. Do the Alpine, because I'll probably also end up using this. This might take me a while to get through all these menus. So anyway, though, I was interested in this game for a long time because of my experience with the PlayStation homeroom for it, and just seeing stuff about it. And so I was looking for it, and the thing is, it never got a physical release in the U.S. When I went to grad school and I was over in England, I remember it was like the day that I got there, I went to a CEX, or like the day after I got there or whatever, went to a CEX, and they actually had it in their case, and I was like, oh my god, no way, this is like right in front of me, I should get this. But it was like £60, and I had just gotten there, and I didn't want to spend like a ton of money right away. I didn't even have a PlayStation 3 with me, so I didn't get it. But like it was like present in the UK. Like you could order it from the CEX website and stuff, because it's pretty easy to order stuff from the CEX website and get it like shipped to wherever, or like to do like the order ahead stuff. So I remember thinking about ordering it, and then I just never did because I didn't really want to ship it to myself, because it was expensive, and I was just kind of waiting to see if it popped back up, and like it popped up, copies of it popped up like once or twice in some other stores around the area that I was in, but I just never ended up getting it. So then went back to the US, but my girlfriend still lives over there, so semi-slick tires are actually better on this car. So I went to visit her a while back, and I ordered it to her house, and I was like, cool, like, it'll arrive here, and then I'll be able to, I'll just be able to collect it when I go home, or before I go home, and, I'll get it. So I didn't order it soon enough, though, and normally, like, shipping in the UK does not take very long, but, for some reason, this game took, like, forever to show up, so it literally showed up. One of my girlfriend's, like, housemates texted her and was like, Quentin's game showed up like right after we left, right as I was going to the airport. So that kind of sucked. So then she had it for a while, and I don't know if she actually played it or not. I told her she could like feel free to go ahead and play it before sending it to me. But so she had it for a while, and then finally, just recently, my birthday happened, and she sent it alongside like some birthday gifts she got me. So alongside all of the other lovely things that my girlfriend got me for my birthday, it was also Siren Blood Curse in the box. So now I finally have Siren Blood Curse, and I'm very happy about it, and quite frankly, very scared to play it. So I was also a little bit worried about the disc, because I wasn't sure what condition the disc would be in, because sometimes when you order games online, especially if you're ordering like a used game online, you never really know. I don't know if it's a good idea to put semi-slick tires on a mostly off-road vehicle. I didn't really know what condition it would be in, and also I actually had a kind of bad experience the other day. I bought a handful of used games. There's a used game store not that close to where I live, but it was on the way to that round one I went to. And I stopped there and I got some of the disc-only games. The only thing is, their disc-only games are like literally just the disc. They have like buckets of just discs. And one of them was I got The Division on Xbox because I already had it on PlayStation. I figured, I'll go ahead and get it on Xbox. And I got it home, and I don't know if it was damaged on the way home or if I just didn't realize it in the store, but like the outer layer of it was actually peeling off. But I just looked at Siren Blood Curse again, and yeah, it seems to be in good condition. I haven't actually looked at like a European PlayStation game in a hot minute. Licensed for sale only in Europe, the Middle East, Africa, and Oceania. This is really cool. I mean, I don't. No, yeah, I guess I haven't actually even like looked at this yet because, like, my girlfriend showed it to me on FaceTime when she got back home, to show it to me. But yeah, I'm just looking at like the instruction manual again, or I guess for the first time. Not too much interesting in here. Sight jacking. Oh, and it's got different characters. Interesting. I will hop back into Test Drive Unlimited in 1 second. I also need to go wipe my nose really quickly. I will be right back. Oh my god, just looking around my room as I got up to go do that. Dude, yeah, I need to, volume is way too loud. I need to clean. These past 2 weeks have been so crazy that I've just like, not, like, put anything away that I've bought or anything. So I've got, like, all these plushies from round one all over the place and, like, games and stuff. And, oh my god, clothes. Trying to think of what else I was gonna say. There's something that I was thinking. Oh, wait, no, I think I've forgotten it again. What was it? I think it was something to do with round one, wasn't it? There was something interesting, another interesting story that I had for you guys, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was now. I have no idea why this is totally escaping me. Now I gotta down tune my Bentley a little bit. I feel like I've run out of things to say. Oh no. Whatever will I do as an entertainment personality on the internet if I have to shut up? Minecraft movie came out. That's been interesting. I have not seen the Minecraft movie yet, but I didn't realize it was coming out as soon as it was. I actually McDonald's has a promotion right now for the Minecraft movie, and I didn't even realize apparently they have a whole meal for it. But I went to McDonald's the other day. I think I got breakfast. I'm a egg McMuffin type of guy, and when I was there, I saw they had like the posters up for it, and it was like comes out April 4th, and I was like, oh my god, April 4th is like today. I think it was either that day or it was like the next day that it was coming out, and I was like, oh, you know, that's like I might actually want to go see that. I'm not like a super big Minecraft fan, but I've played a good amount of Minecraft, and I do enjoy it. It is a fun game, despite the various like issues that have arisen out of Minecraft sometimes, like the various like influencers and stuff. But like Minecraft itself at its core is like a fun, like, you know, kind of almost cute game. I like it a lot. I keep trying to convince my girlfriend to play it with me because we both have it on PS3. Yeah, I might go and see that soon because I don't really know anything about it, but it seems interesting. And I mean, Jack Black, of course, gives like his best performance in his every performance. So I'm sure that like honestly, if you told me like any other actor for Steve, I do not think would have worked. But like seeing Jack Black, oh my god, Jack Black, oh my god, I'm not at the casino, I swear. Jack Black as Steve. I wonder if that's Jack Black, huh? Anyway, it just makes sense. It's like, yeah, that's the actor we need for that. It really is. I'm also pretty excited for the next Five Nights at Freddy's movie. I know Five Nights at Freddy's is kind of similarly a little bit of a series that is kind of, I don't know, some people think it's kind of cringe, but I've actually been kind of into Five Nights at Freddy's over the past couple, I guess, like year or two. I've not played any of the games myself because I'm a weakling, but I've read some of the books. I saw the movie. I have a like concerning amount of Five Nights at Freddy's plushies. Yeah, so it's been cool. I saw the FNAF movie in theater, and then I ended up, through my job, I got a really cheap copy of the Steelbook 4K of it, which is cool. Thinking of games and stuff, though, man, I have a lot of other games that I gotta play. I've been playing a lot of Solar Crown, and I've been trying to kind of like finish up stuff before I start anything new. But really, with a racing game, they don't really have much of stories usually, so you don't really need to finish them. You can kind of jump in and out of racing games, I feel like. But yeah, I haven't read. I've mentioned before I've been reading Julian Comstock. I'm like a fifth of the way through the book. I guess I'm closer to a fourth of the way through it now. I actually haven't read it though in like 2 weeks, I guess, since all this crazy, like, insane 2 weeks has happened. Did I go buy the thing? Oh yeah, I did. Got distracted by the Frim challenge. Yeah, I gotta keep reading that though. I kind of want to almost finish that before I start watching like a new series or anything like that. But yeah, I recently watched Straight Outta Compton for the first time. I've had a Blu-ray of that for a while and just now watched it. That was an interesting interesting movie. Good God, I'm tired. After this race, I think I'm gonna end the stream because I keep misspeaking. Good God. Yeah. I watched Straight Outta Compton though. That was kind of interesting. I feel like I might have mentioned this previously on a stream. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if, okay, I feel like it's unfair to call myself like a fan of NWA because I really don't listen to their stuff that much, but I do like NWA music. I have, wasn't their first album called Straight Outta Compton? I have their first album. Yeah, definitely like ultra influential rap group. And you know, I was not expecting for the end of that movie, and like I know this is kind of a spoiler maybe, but not that much of one because it's kind of like a historical fact. But the end of the movie with Eazy-E, where he gets diagnosed with HIV, and like at that point there wasn't as good of treatment for it as there is now, and like, you know, there was a lot of kind of misinformation with it, where a lot of people didn't realize that you could get it through, you know, just like that there was multiple ways to get it, that it wasn't just like LGBT people that were getting it. Well, I guess, okay, God, not to get into like social stuff, but I guess like it's not really accurate to say that LGBT people would have gotten it. I guess it would have just been like LGB people, because like being trans doesn't necessarily open you up to more likelihood of HIV. But anyway, you guys get what I mean. So like, it was, yeah, that caught me off guard with how emotional that ending of that movie was though, because like it's sad, you know, to see like somebody effectively go into the hospital with something that they think is a relatively easy treatment, and then come out of that with like a diagnosis that they're not even going to live to see the next year. That was really sad. And I mean, it's really sad too in real life, the whole Eazy-E thing. You know, he passed away pretty young. And it makes you wonder sometimes, like if Eazy-E had not passed away, like what he would have gone on to do. Because from what I understand, not only how the movie portrays him, but just from what I've read about him in real life and stuff, Eazy-E was like an exceptionally smart guy. And like there's the whole thing about how he supposedly, like when they started NWA and started Ruthless Records and stuff, that he had started that from like money that he had gotten from like drug dealing, and that he made like a ton of money with that because he was like smart about it. Which is kind of a weird thing to say. Like, you know, obviously I don't condone drugs or drug dealing. But yeah, it just makes you wonder. Like, I you know, you wonder how Eazy-E, had he still like been alive, like what he would have gone on to do, like what modern rappers and musicians he would have gotten along with and wouldn't have gotten along with, that kind of thing. But yeah. And the thing too with the emotional ending of that movie, I feel like it kind of especially hit hard for me, just because, like, not to get too personal, but you guys know that like my dad passed away a few years ago, and that's kind of like, he didn't pass away from HIV, but he had a similar situation where like he had like, you know, kind of a, not like a small medical event, but a relatively like, you know, not uncommon medical event, like a semi-rare thing happened, but then, you know, he went to the hospital, and then because of that they ended up finding out, you know, that he had a brain tumor and stuff. And then it's like, it's just crazy sometimes how that can hit you, because it's like one day my dad's just at work, and then the next day, you know, he's been diagnosed with not that long to live, and it's just kind of sad. So like having kind of like, I didn't experience that necessarily myself, but like having a family member who experienced that kind of hit close to home too with that movie, especially too because my dad was a fan of NWA as well. Like he was a pretty big fan of them. So yeah. Anyway though, not to get too depressing on my stream. Yeah. Aside from streams, I do have videos, hopefully on the way though. Like I said, I want to make that video about like cards I've gotten at the arcade lately. So, and I was going to try to work on that today, but didn't quite get to it. So hopefully maybe tomorrow or like within the next few days I'll work on that. I still have more Club Penguin videos to make. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But, you know, the penguins that I got from the arcade maybe will serve as some inspiration to work on those. Trying to think of other video ideas. Need to do some playthroughs. Really haven't done a playthrough in like a year, I think, at this point, which is kind of ridiculous, frankly, that I've been like that lazy. Work on that, especially also because Wolf's Long Plays has been doing pretty well, and I haven't even uploaded anything there in a long time. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I need to work on. There's that Club Penguin project that I mentioned a bunch of times. Need to work on that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the stream. Get through these menus, and then I'll go ahead and end this stream. Good God, this is actually a pretty long stream. I've normally only been streaming for like 40 minutes, but this one's like almost an hour and 20 minutes. Right. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Hope you all have a nice night. Hopefully I will have some videos soon, but I know I say that all the time and then it still takes forever. So we'll see. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the future. And also, as I said before, I've noticed that these streams have been doing pretty well when they're uploaded as like videos afterwards. So if you're watching this as a video, I know that there's a lot of you guys that have been. Let me know why. Let me know what you enjoy about them. So that way I can kind of, continue to improve them and stuff. Thank you guys for watching.